Hello. So we just woke up in Salem. We're going to be here for the whole weekend. So I'm so excited. I've always wanted to come here. I'm a little nervous because I think it gets crazy. But the weather's beautiful. It's like 55 degrees right now. I think the high is 70. We have a jam-packed schedule for the next 2 days. Like, we're hitting all the Hocus Pocus sites, as many of like the museums and things as we can do. All the good restaurants, all the good stores. So we'll see what we can do, but I think it's gonna be awesome. I brought my stepdad with me, so he's gonna be a trooper. But I was like, I don't even think you're ready for how many people are here. We're here in the first week of October, which they said is gonna be crazy busy, but it's still a little better than the rest of the weekend. So if you're coming the rest of the weekends, get ready. I booked this back in May, and I couldn't even find a stay in Salem. We're staying at this little Airbnb in Marblehead, which is like 12-minute drive away. But then also there was a cancellation at the Hampton Inn in downtown Salem for Saturday night, so we're gonna stay there. So I would turn on your notifications because people do cancel. But if you haven't already booked 7 months in advance like me, or a year in advance like most people, I would suggest staying in Boston, taking the ferry over or something like that. But I'm so excited. This little Airbnb is so great. We're in Marblehead, and that's where the old Burial Point Cemetery is, where that Hocus Pocus scene is, where like the boys bully him, and a couple other ones. So we're gonna go see that first, and then we'll Uber into Salem. Everyone says you have to Uber or you will not be able to find a parking spot, even if you pay a bunch of money. So we're just gonna do that. Since it's gonna be so busy, I think I'm gonna do like a voiceover, so make sure I show everyone all the spots and kind of tips and how we went around, and anything else we find out. So we'll kind of see how I do this vlog. It'll be a little different than the other ones, but a couple tips right off the bat. Like I said, this day, if you didn't book it 8 months ago, you might have a hard time, but turn on notifications or stay in Boston or one of the other neighboring towns. I know even Marblehead was like completely booked out. Another thing is restaurants just aren't taking reservations. They're all saying just come 2 hours early, put your name in and wait. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go kind of before we're hungry and put our name in. There's one restaurant taking reservations, the Ledger or something. So we're gonna try that tonight. We'll see. We're doing a ghost tour through Salem Ghost Tours. It's like the #1 rated one. We're gonna do that tonight. So we'll see if that's worth it. They have a ton of spots available all October. So I would recommend that if we like that. And then a couple of things like the House of Seven Gables, they releasing tickets 2 weeks at a time. So they released it for these first 2 weeks of October last week, and I actually think there's still a few left. And then for the last 2 weeks of October, they're releasing someday this week. So I would go on their website and try and do that. They're like $20, but they sell out. And then we're going to the Salem Witch Trial Museum. I had to book those tickets at 10 o'clock last night, 10 o'clock the night before. Every day they open up. And then there's another one that opens up the day of, the Witch House. Those tickets open up 8 a.m. the day of every single day. So you have to go on right at 8 and try and get those. So we're going to try and get those for tomorrow. So I'll let you know. But yeah, there's kind of a lot of planning. I'll include my itinerary and everything so you can kind of look. And I put some notes on there. But yes, we're so excited. So we're going to start at the cemetery and then go to Max and Danny's house and then Uber into town and get started. So I'm so excited. Come on with us. We started off at Old Burial Hill Cemetery. This was in Marblehead, which is about 10 minutes from Salem. This is actually where we stayed. It's a really cute, old, sweet little town. We loved staying here. This is definitely worth it to go, even if you're not staying over here, since it's so close. It's really beautiful. I didn't know from the movie that just on the other side, there's a beautiful view of the water. It's such an old cemetery, definitely the oldest one I've ever been to. It was from 1638. Most of the gravestones you can't even read anymore. This is where they shot the scene where the boys bullied Max on his way home from school on his bike, Jay and Ice. So that's definitely an iconic scene to be seen here. From then we headed over to Max and Danny's house. That was about another 10-minute drive. But if you're staying in Salem, it's only 5 minutes. And the drive is so beautiful. It just goes over water and bridges. We got to see the most beautiful historic houses, so it's definitely nice to drive around. This was so cool. The house has not changed a bit from the movie. It looks just like it, which was awesome. And someone lives here, so it's a private residence, so make sure you don't bother the house at all. Just take pictures from the outside. They don't mind. So definitely worth a stop over here. From here, we Ubered into Salem to start our morning off at Black Craft Coffee. This place is so cool. It's in the Black Craft store. Just for the month of October, you have to have reservations to get coffee. There's no sitting or anything. The reservation is literally just to walk up and get a coffee. So make sure you go on their website. If you go on their Instagram, you can make a reservation. Don't be discouraged if there's none. I just refreshed a million times throughout a couple days until I finally got one. So we actually got one 2 days, and oh my god, it is so worth it. This place is so cool and decked out. You show them that you have a reservation, you walk right in to get in line, and it is so beautiful. It is all decorated. I couldn't stop talking about the cauldron around the espresso machine. I just thought that was the coolest thing. This first day we got the Spellbound latte and we got the Sea Witch. Definitely get half sweet, but oh my god, we could not stop talking about how good this coffee was. And we also got the Sea Witch, which was like a lotus plant energy drink. Sometimes I don't like to have multiple coffees in a day, and so this one was super fun and themed. Even the cups were themed. It was so cute. Highly, highly recommend getting a reservation if you can. It's perfect because it's right on Essex Street, so you walk out, and we started shopping at all the different stores. Our first one that we went into was Witch City Broom Co. I still think that this is one of my top favorite ones. They had so many great things. We got collars for our dogs. They had pre-made brooms, and then broom kits to make your own, which was so awesome. Then we went into the Black Cat Curiosity Shop. This was definitely the longest line we waited in, but rightfully so. It was so unique. There was all sorts of unique items and artifacts. It was definitely one of the most unique stores I've ever been in, and you'll find stuff that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Definitely worth a visit, and the staff was so nice, so helpful, so definitely support this local business. We started getting really hungry, so we walked into Rockefeller's, which is right there off Essex Street. You get in line. It looked super long, but they have a serious system down, and we got right through. They got us a seat. They let us pick in or outside. You can't go wrong with either, but the inside was decorated so awesome. They had the coolest themed drinks. I was shocked at how many that they had. And the menu and service was just fantastic. We got this cinnamon fall spritz to start, which was amazing. And then we got the spinach and artichoke dip to start. I got the marinated steak tips with mashed potatoes and green beans. And we also got the crusted cod with the most amazing risotto underneath. I cannot highly recommend this place enough. It was so good. Okay, I got a fortune-telling fish from the Black Cat Curiosity Shop. I haven't seen this since I was a kid. Place fish in the palm of your hand, and its movements will indicate. Okay. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Is that moving head and tail? Yeah, moving head and tail. I'm in love. That means I'm in love, and I'm not. What is this scam? From here, we headed down Essex Street to check out more stores and other little galleries and to take pictures with the buskers. So definitely bring cash because people have awesome costumes and you're definitely going to want to take pictures with them. So I'm going to insert some here. Oh, yes, there is. Clap your hands. Oh, yeah. And then somehow they got my stepdad to join in on the dancing, so that was really fun to watch. We kept walking down the street looking at all the nice little setups, and then we were ready for a drink because for some reason it was 80 degrees still, and I think that that's why we didn't get any fall foliage yet because it's just been so hot. So we kept walking all the way to the end of Essex Street, kind of towards Salem Commons, and we ended up at the Hawthorne Hotel. I actually tried to book here, but it was booked so far in advance I couldn't get it. They have 2 awesome restaurants and a bar that you can go to, and they also have a beautiful lobby that you can sit in and have your drink, which is what we did. And of course they had fun themed drinks as well. So we got the apple cider spritzes again. It was kind of another take on this, and it was so good and so nice to sit in here in this historic little hotel before we went to the Salem Witch Museum. The museum is just in the most iconic, beautiful building. So if anything, definitely go and take pictures of the building. If you want tickets for October, they open up every night at 10 p.m. the night before. So you just log on and get your tickets for a specific time slot. Now, if we're going to be honest, I do kind of regret doing this. I know a lot of people warned me not to, but It was tough. It was long. It was a little boring. It was a really short little story that most of us know before if you know anything about the Salem witch trials. And it's very obvious that the little wax figure type things were from years and years and years ago. And it just seems like this museum needs a little revamp. They are also really trying to rush you out of there. So once you do the little wax figure part where you hear the voiceovers, there's a sort of more museum part where a guide walks you through, and that was really rushed. But honestly, to say you did it one time is worth it. Since we sat in line for a while and then sat in that dark room, it did make us kind of start to crash. So we just walked the streets to see some of the historic houses. They are all decorated so nicely, and it just is so sweet if you grab a coffee and just stroll the little streets. And then we went and saw the Bewitched statue. It's actually something I have on my list to watch because I never have. And then we went to another one of my top favorite stores, the Black Veil. This store was so cute. I wanted to buy all of these little figures, but I didn't have enough room in my suitcase, but I definitely want to go back and get some more things from this store. And just a few steps away is the iconic Witch House, which is the only building still standing that was directly connected to the Salem Witch Trials of 1692. It was the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin, who was a pretty bad guy, but it is a really beautiful house, an iconic house that's definitely worth to see it. If you want tickets, they come available every morning at 8 a.m. in October. Just a few feet after that is the Ropes Mansion and Garden, which is also known as Allison's house from Hocus Pocus. If you want to go in here, you can buy tickets through the Peabody Essex Museum, or you can just tour the grounds and the garden for free, which is super cool because it's a super beautiful house, and I think later in the month they're decorating it to look like Allison's house in the fall. Some really cool stories about here though, so definitely really cool to see. At the end of this video, I'm going to do a little montage with all the different Hocus Pocus sites and their addresses so that you can save them in the best order to go in them so you can easily visit them all. From here, we walked back up Essex Street and we went to the Hotel Salem's rooftop. This has a beautiful view of the water in Salem and great for sunset, so definitely recommend 4 drinks. And surprise, if you want a fall Halloween themed drink, they have those here too. Then we walked next door to the town hall, which you will also recognize from Hocus Pocus, and I'll show the scene at the end of the video. During the month of October, Saturday and Sunday, they have a little food court inside with different food vendors. Smelled so good. I highly recommend either the lobster place or the Tang Hulu, which is what we got, and it was so good. This is a perfect spot to get a snack if you do the ghost tour with Salem Ghost Tours because they meet right across the street, so it's perfect. Oh my goodness, we shopped till we dropped, so good thing they have all these cute little canvas totes to buy. It makes carrying your stuff a lot easier. We started our ghost tour at 8 o'clock. We rented the EMF scanner from Salem Ghost Tours. It was $7 extra and just made the whole thing so much more fun. It was going crazy everywhere we went. I would bring out my phone and suddenly it would stop going crazy. It's like it knew I was recording, but I think I caught a couple little clips of it going all the way red. But as you know, Salem is super haunted, but our tour guide did an awesome job telling us as many stories as she could fit into that 1 hour. It was a great experience.
Part of basically the folks running Salem at the time.
Talks happened yesterday.
Every time I bring my phone out, it stops going off. It's like the ghosts know I'm taking a video. There we go at the witch house. Little activity. Once this was over, we headed to our dinner reservation at The Ledger, which is actually the only restaurant in Salem that I could find that took reservations. So definitely check OpenTable. Maybe people have canceled, but it was amazing. The food was so good, and the drink list, of course, was amazing. It was such good vibes. It's a really beautiful restaurant, and our server, oh my God, I just loved her so much. I got a sort of painkiller with a Halloween straw and a Halloween umbrella, which was super cute. We started with the shrimp cocktail, a Chinese chicken salad, and the pork belly. I'm still dreaming of the pork belly. I've never had a less chewy, more tender pork belly in my whole life. And then we got a burger and shoestring fries, which were insane. Okay, good morning. It's our next day in Salem. We're about to start off Saturday. We got so much done yesterday. I think we underestimated like how close everything was. So like almost everything on my itinerary was done yesterday. So it's great. We can kind of just go back to places we wanted to go back to. We're gonna go to the house of Seven Gables today. It's gonna be amazing. It's really busy, but which we knew, but honestly, like, they handle it so well. We're walking right into restaurants, like they have these lines set up, like they have a lot of staff. There's like, they have like partitions at each of the stores to wait in line. Like, they have it really under control. So we really not waiting. The lines look long and they're like 20 minutes long. So just because you see a line, don't let that scare you. But yeah, it's been so great. So I'll share everything. We checked out of our Airbnb and into our hotel downtown, the Hampton Inn. It's super convenient, and although it's nothing glamorous, it was great. We started off the morning checking out the two stores that I wanted to go to the day before, Oak and Moss, and then their sister store next door. Both amazing and really good for people at home to get gifts for that aren't super into Halloween. They just have the cutest, most unique stuff, and oh my god, it smelled so good. I bought so many candles because I was just obsessed with the smell. Then, luckily, I had another reservation at Black Craft Coffee because I just could not stop thinking about it. So I'm so glad. So we went back there. You're also able to browse the store. If you have a coffee reservation, you get to skip the line. Or if you don't have a coffee reservation, you can just look in the store. So no matter what, you can go to the store. So we went back this time, and I got the Blood Drip Lotus drink, which was another form of that Lotus energy drink I got yesterday. But this one was even better somehow, and there was fairy dust in it, which was so freaking awesome. We also got the Good Witch latte, and we are still talking about this latte. We have to find a way to recreate it because it was literally the best latte I think I've ever had. We also got a half sweet, but it was insane. And look how cute they put little fangs on top of my drink, which was just such a cute and fun little touch. Then we thought about going to Red Sandwich Shop because it's just iconic. I bought a little picture of it to put in my house of it because it's just the cutest little building, but the line was crazy. So we went back to Rockefeller's because we just could not stop thinking about the food here. And we were starving, so we literally ordered everything on the menu and it came out so quick. We got the grilled cheese and tomato soup. It also had this like sun-dried tomato pesto on it, which was so good. A margarita flatbread, truffle fries, and curry chicken egg rolls. So quite the mixture of food, but it was exactly what we needed. It was so good. And then somehow the bartender coaxed us into getting shots. And they were actually so good, even though I don't really do shots, but they were just trying to make us have fun. So I love this place and I want to come back so bad. Then we had a grounds tour at the House of Seven Gables, which I was super excited to go to. It looks far on the map, but it's like a 12-minute walk, and you just basically walk down Essex Street and get to see a bunch of different cute little houses. So I definitely recommend walking if you go. I bought tickets pretty far in advance, but when we got there, they said that they had grounds tickets available still, just not house tickets. So if you at least want to see the grounds, you can get them day of still, which was nice. The area was super cute. And the house itself was really so beautiful. After all these pictures I've seen, I also didn't know that this was on the water either. I guess that's a common theme. I didn't know how much of Salem was on the water, which is so cool. But they have a really great gift shop as well. I have to say, though, I was a little disappointed. You pay $20 per ticket for the grounds, and the grounds are super, super small. You basically can walk around and see everything in about 5 minutes. So I just think it should be a little less or a little easier to get tickets. But a lot of people brought blankets to lay down. It's a really good place to sit on the lawn and watch the water and the boats go by. So if you like to do that kind of thing, I would recommend it. But it's something to check off your bucket list for sure. And we were in a rush, so we couldn't stop. But right outside of the House of Seven Gables is Ye Olde Pepper Company, which is America's oldest candy store. So I definitely want to go there next time. Then we hopped in the car and headed over to Pioneer Village. This would actually make more sense to go to after you visit Max and Danny's house because they are right next to each other. But it is only open Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 4. So this is just what worked out best for our schedule. It's $5 per ticket, and you can just bring cash and put it in the little bucket at the table right when you walk in, which is nice. It's super easy. It's super quick, but it's so cool. It looks just like the village in the beginning parts of Hocus Pocus, that old-timey one where Thackeray Binks lived. They actually show his house that they used in the movie, but the Sanderson sisters' house was a set, so they didn't show that, but look, this looks just like the whole village, so you get the idea of it, and it's super cute. They had a fire going, and they had this person showing different old-timey potions and things like that, and then little jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, and it's right on the water, so definitely worth it. It's $5, even if you just come for a few minutes like we did. We Ubered right back into downtown, and of course we needed caffeine because we were just so packed this day. We went to Odd Meter Coffee Co. Oh my goodness. I think this is just a common thing, but everything is just so good. It was so yummy. I got the blueberry pie latte. highly recommend. The whole town really plays into the witches, so even the fire department has little witches on their badges and on the signs in the fire department, and I didn't get a picture of the cop car sadly, but they have little witches on their emblem on their cars too, so it's just so cute. It really feels like you're just in a movie set, and I just loved how themed the entire town is. From there, we walked over into Salem Commons, and a bunch of stuff happens there over the weekend. This one had a giant market of all sorts of different vendors, Halloween, not Halloween, fall, just really awesome stuff. So definitely make it a point to spend some time in there and look throughout the local vendors. And just right across the street is the high school from Hocus Pocus. So I will show the scene at the end of this one too, but it's awesome. You barely have to walk anywhere. Everything's just right there. We went back to the Hawthorne Hotel right next to Salem Commons for a little pre-dinner drink before heading to Turner Seafood, which came highly recommend. I was actually a little bit skeptical and wasn't sure if I wanted to go just because it was so hyped up and popular. I was afraid it would be a little touristy. They have so many options. The staff is so nice. I think the manager, the owner, someone came and talked to us for a while, and it was just great. We actually were able to make a reservation for here too. It wasn't a true reservation. You go on Resi and you basically get confirmed on the wait list. So when you get there, they try and get you a table within 15 minutes. So try and make one online. They move people in and out pretty well, and it's a really large restaurant, so you should be able to get in. Once again, we ordered way too much food because we just wanted to try everything, but we got the pretzel sticks, the Caesar salad, the lo mein salad, the lobster sherry soup. Oh my god, it was the best soup. I am still dreaming about it. That is my number one favorite thing we had the whole weekend. Then we got a 2.5-pound lobster and risotto cakes. That lobster was bigger than me. I couldn't believe it, but it was so reasonably priced. In Charlotte, this would have been $150, and we got it for $65. So definitely go to Turner Seafood. Now I'm going to show you all the different Hocus Pocus filming sites and put the addresses so you can easily find them. Thanks for watching. Come back for the next one.